Today we are going to start a recap of some characters and their roles. This recap delves into their evolution across the series, episode by episode, capturing pivotal moments, strategies, and ultimate downfalls. Let's uncover the story and how these choices shape the world of Death Note. Let's jump first into the first character, Light Yagami. Let's uncover the story and how these choices shape the world of Death Note. The birth of Kira. Light Yagami's journey begins in episode 1, Rebirth, where he discovers the Death Note, a mysterious notebook that allows him to kill anyone whose name he writes in it. Initially skeptical, Light tests its power and realizes its potential to change the world. Convinced he can create a utopia free of crime, he assumes the identity of Kira, a godlike figure. In episode 2, Confrontation, Light's calculated brilliance emerges as he outmaneuvers the authorities by exploiting the Death Note's rules. The introduction of his nemesis, L, a genius detective, marks the beginning of their psychological warfare. Light's decision to kill an innocent decoy during L's televised stunt reveals his willingness to abandon morality for his vision. Episode 3 to 7 chronicle Light's rise as Kira. He meticulously covers his tracks, showcasing his ability to manipulate events and people. The tension escalates as L narrows his search to Japan and even identifies Light as a suspect. These episodes highlight Light's adaptability and his growing confidence in his role as Kira. A game of wits. The battle of intellect between Light and L intensifies. In episode 8, Glare, L's suspicion of Light deepens, leading to L's first direct encounter with his adversary. Their tennis match becomes a metaphor for their mental duel, as each tries to assess the other's strategy. Light's ruthlessness becomes more apparent as he manipulates the rules of the Death Note to create alibis. He begins exploiting others, including his classmate and admirer, Misa Amane, who possesses a second Death Note and is aided by the Shinigami Rem. Light's ability to use people as pawns reflects his descent into moral corruption, triumph, and tragedy. Episode 13 marks a turning point. Misa's devotion to Kira introduces new challenges, but Light skillfully uses her infatuation to his advantage. With Rem's help, he manipulates events to eliminate obstacles, including L's trusted allies. As Light's plans grow more elaborate, L's suspicions also deepen. In episode 25, Silence, the unthinkable happens. L meets his demise. This victory cements Light's status as the dominant figure in their battle, but it comes at a cost. The death of L marks the end of an era, with Light now free to reshape the world as Kira. The fall of Kira. With L gone, Light assumes the role of the new L within the investigation team, allowing him to control the pursuit of Kira from within. However, his overconfidence and the introduction of Near and Mellow, L's successors, create new challenges. In these episodes, Light's facade begins to crack, his methods grow more desperate, and his arrogance blinds him to Near's strategies. By the finale, episode 37, New World, Light's meticulously constructed empire collapses. His over-reliance on the Death Note and underestimation of Near lead to his exposure. The final moment of the series are a poetic reflection of Light's journey. Once a young man seeking justice, he dies alone, betrayed by his own hubris. Ryuk, the Shinigami who gave Light the Death Note, fulfills his promise to write Light's name in it, ending the reign of Kira. Now, let's jump into the second character, Tota Matsuda. Let's uncover the story and how these choices shape the world of Death Note. Introduction of Matsuda. Tota Matsuda is introduced as a young and somewhat inexperienced member of the NPA task force. Initially seen as a comic relief character, Matsuda's enthusiasm and dedication to catching Kira make him a valuable, albeit underestimated member of the team. During these episodes, he observes the brilliance of both L and Light Yagami while trying to contribute meaningfully to the investigation. Matsuda's involvement. As the investigation deepens, Matsuda begins to play a more active role. In episode 11, he becomes involved in the efforts to trace Kira's identity through corporate connections, revealing his willingness to take risks despite his naivety. Matsuda's loyalty to the team and determination to prove himself start to shine through. Matsuda's risky gambit. One of Matsuda's defining moments occurs in episode 19, where he infiltrates the Yotsuba group to gather evidence against Kira. Despite nearly being caught, Matsuda's quick thinking and resourcefulness save him. This moment cements his place as a courageous, if occasionally reckless member of the task force. His growing confidence contrasts with the increasingly tense dynamics within the group as Al's suspicions of Light intensify. Matsuda's defining act. Matsuda's role becomes pivotal in the series' climax. As Light's carefully constructed empire begins to crumble, Matsuda's steadfastness and moral clarity come to the forefront. In the episode 37 New World, Matsuda's outrage at Light's action culminates in a shocking and emotional confrontation. His decision to shoot Light symbolizes the culmination of his character arc, a man underestimated by many, but ultimately one who upholds justice. Now, let's jump into the third character, Sayu Yagami. Let's uncover the story and how these choices shape the world of Death Note. Introduction of Sayu Yagami. Sayu's first appearances are brief, but they set the tone for her role in the series. In these early episodes, Sayu is introduced as a cheerful, innocent, and somewhat naive high school student. She lives with her family in a seemingly normal household, unaware of the increasingly dangerous situation surrounding her older brother Light. Her relationship with Light is typical for siblings, marked by occasional bickering and playful interactions. At this stage, Sayu serves as a more background character, highlighting the contrast between Light's cold, calculating nature and the more warm-hearted family members. Though her screen time is limited, Sayu represents the normal, unaffected world that Light once inhabited, a life he begins to slowly sever himself from as he becomes more deeply involved with the Death Note. Her role, while minor, establishes her as a figure of innocence, someone who, like most ordinary people, will be caught in the ripples of the conflict surrounding Kira. The Yagami family's involvement. As Light's role as Kira begins to grow, the Yagami family is drawn into the web of events without their knowledge. Sayu's innocence is highlighted here, as she remains unaware of her brother's double life and the true nature of the global phenomenon surrounding Kira. However, the family's connection to Light begins to show through in small but important ways. Sayu's father, Soichiro Yagami, is heavily involved in the investigation against Kira, adding stress to the family dynamic. While Light is becoming more ruthless in his mission to cleanse the world, Sayu remains a beacon of normalcy and familial love. Sayu's role is often to bring some levity to the otherwise tense atmosphere. Her interactions with her father and brother offer a sense of warmth, particularly when the family is gathered around the dinner table. These moments are important because they underscore the tension in the Yagami household, the growing distance between Light and his family, who are oblivious to his true nature. Sayu's kidnapping and the Yotsuba group. Sayu's first major plot involvement occurs in episode 16 when she is kidnapped by the Yotsuba group. The Yotsuba group, a faction of businessmen who have gained access to the Death Note, seeks to use Sayu as leverage to force Light into revealing himself as Kira. Her kidnapping represents a critical turning point to the Yagami family, as it is the first time they experience direct danger as a result of Light's actions. This event highlights the personal costs of Light's quest for justice, showing how his family's safety is now threatened because of the power he wields. In this arc, Sayu's emotions are palpable. She is frightened and helpless, caught in situations far beyond her understanding. Her father Soichiro is visibly distressed and desperate to rescue her, emphasizing his deep concern for his children's well-being. This arc is crucial in showing the emotional stakes for the Yagami family. While Light is focused on his mission, Sayu and her father are completely unaware of his true identity as Kira. Sayu's kidnapping ultimately leads to her rescue, but it serves as a poignant reminder of the impact of Light's actions on those closest to him. While Light pretends to be a dutiful son throughout the ordeal, the reality is that his secret life as Kira has made his family vulnerable to immense danger. Sayu's return to normalcy. After the traumatic experience of being kidnapped, Sayu's role in the series fades into the background. She is shown recovering and resuming her normal life, but the shadow of her earlier ordeal looms over her. Sayu's interactions with Light and the rest of the family becomes less frequent, but she remains a figure of innocence amidst the growing chaos of the Kira investigation. Sayu is occasionally shown in scenes with her family, offering a contrast to Light's increasingly dark and calculating nature. During this period, Sayu's character is relegated to the role of a supporting figure. She is a symbol of the things Light has sacrificed or lost in his pursuit of justice. The innocence she represents is juxtaposed against the morally complex choices Light is making, further emphasizing the tension between Yagami family. Sayu's final appearances. Sayu's final significant appearance comes toward the end of the series as the investigation reaches its peak. By this point, Light's true identity as Kira is on the verge of being exposed. Sayu's presence is minimal, but it is still important to see her final moments in this story. The Yagami family's involvement in the investigation has reached its conclusion, and Sayu, who was once so innocent, is now aware of the terrifying truth about her brother. In these final episodes, Sayu's reactions to Light's downfall are not shown in great detail, but the impact of her family's emotional journey is clear. She is left to deal with the aftermath of the chaos Light caused, her family now fractured by the truth. Sayu's innocence has been irrevocably shaken, and her role as a background character serves to highlight the emotional and moral consequences of Light's actions. Throughout Death Note, the journey of each character, whether central or peripheral, contributes to the complex narrative about morality, justice, and the human psyche. From the brilliant yet tragic transformation of Light Yagami to the unwavering determination of L and the courage of Matsuda, every individual plays a vital role in shaping the story's emotional depth and thematic exploration. Even characters like Sayu Yagami, whose presence is subtler, add layers of familial connection and human vulnerability, emphasizing the personal costs of Light's mission. The series is a masterclass in showcasing how the quest for justice can lead to morally gray areas, testing the boundaries of right and wrong. The emotional toll, sacrifices, and the inevitable consequences of these characters' actions are a poignant reminder of the complexities of human nature and the consequences of unchecked power. In the end, Death Note presents a narrative where each character's choices, no matter how small, leave a lasting impact, reminding us that even in a world driven by extraordinary abilities, the fundamental truths of humanity, love, family, loyalty, and sacrifice are what ultimately define the journey.